Okay, hello.
What is your reaction to standardized tests such as a SAR test?
I feel like they don't really help to do much of anything, and I honestly don't see why we take them. I understand that they're supposed to give a cumulative scores of people in the state, but I feel like the scores are skewed.
I don't like it because it shouldn't be timed. You know how the text test was in time? SAR test, I think it just brings more pressure.
Yeah, that's a good one. And like on top of that, I just think it's kind of dumb how like they try to, because you know how like towards right before you take the test, they try to condense everything that you've learned throughout the whole year within like a week. Like that doesn't
Into
help.
4 hours.
That doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
So I don't like it.
Yeah.
Knowing stuff from classes, I guess.
Like teaching prior, like a week or two prior before the standardized test.
I don't like that because you barely know the stuff.
Most of the stuff they teach you anyway, most of the stuff they teach you, you can't really apply it to like real world stuff. Because most of the stuff like you will never use again. It's just like, oh, just teaching you to pass the stuff. That's all.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's all based off of if you pass it or not, so you can graduate.
I don't think it does anything to improve the education system. I feel like the education system in general is a little flawed, and I don't think standardized testing is helping with that. I think if anything, it hurts.
Do you think it improves your overall education?
I mean, like, what people, I think what college are really looking for is how you can apply what you learned in school to real life. And they're not really teaching us, like, how to do that. They're just teaching us, like, okay, this is this, like, 1 plus 1 is 2, or blah, blah, blah. There's some stuff we can use, but, like, 85% of it.
Like colleges, they like rather look at like the PSATs.
Do you think it improves your overall education?
No, I don't. No. I feel like it's just kind of like a benchmark type thing. You just see where you're doing like comparatively, and I don't feel like you learn much from taking the test.
Are you for or against standardized testing, and why?
Against standardized testing. I think that most teachers are probably going to be against standardized testing. Look at the word, standardized.
How would you say standardized testing has affected your students?
For some of them, I think it depends on the course they're in. If they're just being taught the test, they may not get all the information that they should. And sometimes some teachers just teach testing strategies and not the content, which is a disservice to the students. But when they're trying to get them to pass the test, sometimes they get desperate or try to help them do that. But if the test is good and it's the material the students should know to be successful, then it can help them.
It's done that. It's made them not care about education at all. Students aren't dumb. They know what's going on, and they can tell. Students have a really good BS radar, and they can tell when you're not being honest or genuine with them. And so when you're trying to teach them something, they can tell if it's trying to mark the right letter on some standardized test. I don't know. Again, it's just leading to the to the downfall of the American education system. And that may seem like hyperbole, but you look at our reading and writing as compared to comparable countries over in Europe. Like the United States and even like China and Japan. Japan not so much, but certainly China. You look at like math and science scores. The problem with math and science in the United States is that in those disciplines you need people thinking outside of the box. You need people coming up with new ideas. You need people questioning, meaning like not standardized. Because if people are just doing the same thing, then at some point your bridge is going to fall down. You need to have subversive ideas in math and science. But if we're trying to get everybody to do the same thing, like in a standardized test, or think the same way, then obviously those disciplines are going to suffer, and that's what we're seeing. So there's empirical evidence that that it does not help, critical thinking or reading skills or critical writing skills.